Guys, I know what you're thinking. Look at that ridiculous colour shirt this guy is wearing. Well, I'm doing it because Christmas. One thing I don't like doing is making very long videos, especially when I'm the only one in them. I don't mind long collaboration videos, but I don't like long just me videos. One video I'm making today, Lex Ellis, my good buddy on YouTube, Lex Ellis, recently put out a video about a program that was created by, I believe, one of my subscribers, a friend on Facebook, put together this program that allowed you to input all your fragrances, okay, and spit out a ranking. It allows you to choose one fragrance against another head to head, and what it does is at the end of it ranks those fragrances based on the choices you made at the time. Now I've done that with my collection, all 120 different fragrances that I have. I am going to go through the top 20 fragrances that came out at the end of this. So it gave me a choice between fragrances head to head, and at that point in time I had to choose the one I would pick over the other. Now this spat out some very interesting results because some of the favorite fragrances that I've spoken about all year are not in the top 20. And I think some variables of this might be how long it's been since I've worn a particular fragrance, because unless you're going to do this and actually spray at the time and pick the fragrances, you're basically going on memory, and perhaps the advantage goes to something you've worn more recently than the other. If I were to do this again in a couple of weeks, the results could be different again. For a point of interest for this video, I'm going to go through the top 20 fragrances that Frag Ranker spat out for me, and thank you to Adam Kovacs, who created this program and has, I think Lex's video has a link to it. I'm not sure if it's able to be shared with everybody, but I'll link Lex's video in my description. So I'm going to run through these very quickly, and I'm not going to talk too much about the fragrances, and I'll count down from number 20 and all the way to number 1. And obviously as I go through these, people who've been watching my channel might be a bit surprised by some of these results. At number 20, from the house of Zoologist, it is none other than Rhino. I think that this one is my favorite from the whole line. Well, according to this it is, but I would have been able to say that Rhino was my favorite, closely followed by Camel and Elephant. At number 19, the only Guerlain in this list, and that is Heritage. Now again, if someone had just asked me and I had to think about it, I may have ranked this a little bit higher than it came out. At 18, Thierry Mugler's Pure Malt. Again, this one probably I may have ranked a little bit higher, but I'm happy with it being 18th out of 120. At 17 is from the house of Yves Saint Laurent, and that is M7 Oud Absolu. Again, this one is probably pretty close to the mark as to where it's ranked. At 16 we have a fragrance from Labo, and that is Patchouli 24. I'm pretty happy with it being ranked at 16 because it's probably, I would have said, in my top 20. A few months ago it may have been a bit higher, but right now I'm happy with that ranking. At 15 is from Dior's Privé collection. It is Bois d'Argent, and I've really enjoyed that fragrance this year, and 15 is a pretty good spot for it to be. At 14, the first Creed in this list, and it's none other than Green Irish Tweed. Enough said. I love that fragrance, but there is a Creed that ranks higher for me in this, and that is the very next one, which is ranked at 13, and that's Millesime Imperial. Those two fragrances, I think I'm very happy with where they're ranked and what Frag Ranker has spat them out as. At number 12 is from Australian house Goldfield and Banks, and that is Pacific Rock Moss. This was a little bit of a surprise. I probably wouldn't have ranked it if I was just, you know, doing it off the top of my head. But what it tells me is that head to head with the rest of my collection, it beat out quite a lot of them when I was choosing. At number 11, Tom Ford Private Blend, and that is Oud Wood. I love this fragrance. It is one of my favourite private blends, and I think just looking at this list, it might be my highest ranked at number 11. At number 10, this was the first real surprise for me, but thinking back on it, I've enjoyed every time I've worn this fragrance. Now, bear in mind, this is ranked highly because, again, I chose it head to head with the rest of my collection. However, I need to state that I've only worn this a few times, okay? So I've enjoyed it each time, but it's not a fragrance I am thoroughly familiar with. So this is going on my impressions of those few wears. That is from Encre Noire, and that is à l'extrême, Encre Noire à l'extrême, from Lalique, sorry, Lalique. At number 9, another Goldfield and Banks. This one I do like and have no doubt that it's probably my favourite Goldfield and Banks. However, I'm reasonably surprised that it's made the top 10, and that is Desert Rosewood. It's been reviewed by Sebastian at Smelling Great Fragrances. I'm planning a review on it soon, so it's Desert Rosewood. At number 8, this might be a surprise to people who've followed my channel for a while. It's Timbuktu from Laurent Parfumeur. Now, I love Timbuktu. It is still, I mean, number 8 is number 8, and it is still one of my all-time favorites. But more recently, just more recently, there have been some fragrances that have really captured my imagination, or I have worn again and really fallen deeply in love with. And it's not that I don't love Timbuktu anymore, but I think I'm just infatuated with a few others at the moment. At number 7, I think this one will always rank highly for me. It's from Mansera, and it's Cedrat Bois. Probably my favorite summer citrus, musk, woody. I just love it. Cedrat Bois. At number 6 is Terre d'Hermes Parfum. This to me has just been a revelation, because I previously had the Eau de Toilette, which I enjoyed greatly, but for me the Parfum is one of those ones that just is perfectly matched for my skin, and I'm happy with where that's ranked at the moment. Actually, at number 5, probably, again, if I was doing this off the top of my head, may have not been ranked this high, but I can't really argue with where it's ranked at the moment, because each time I wear it, there's something else I get to it, and there's a little bit more that I love about it, and that's from Thierry Mugler, and this is Ultra Zest. And I'm surprised that it ended up being ranked ahead of Pure Malt, but I love Ultra Zest as well. My top 4 really, that would have been there or thereabouts, and probably would be interchangeable at any of the top 4 spots. At number 4 is Idole by Lubin, the EDP version. At number 3 is probably the newest entry to this top 10 of mine, and that is from Nasomatto Baraonda. Beautiful whiskey, woody fragrance. And again, another one that is just suited to my skin. At number 2, my favorite amber rosé from Parfum d'Empire. This will shortly be a full bottle for me. I only have a decant. And at number 1, from probably what might be my favorite niche house at the moment, Histoire de Parfum, and it's none other than 1740 Marquis de Sade. Beautiful leather immortelle, patchouli, little bit of sweet, little bit of skank, just a gorgeous interesting, wonderful, seductive scent. And that was my top 20 based on Frag Ranker. Check out Lex's video, see if Frag Ranker is something you might be interested in doing with your own collection. But I just thought that would be an interesting exercise to do for this video. And I think this might be maybe my second last video before Christmas. So if it is my last video before Christmas, I just want to wish everyone a great holiday celebration, festive season, and thank you to everyone who supported me this year in the channel. I've got a couple more videos that'll come out before the end of the year, and they're sort of kind of year-end specials, and I look forward to seeing everyone again soon. Great 2018 planned, hopefully, and kisses to everybody.
I was scared of dentists and the dark. I was scared of pretty crowds starting conversations. All my friends are turning green. You're the magician's assistant in their dream. I just gotta know. I can't have it any other way. I swear she's destined for the screen. Closest thing to myself, right, for that you've ever